is in the air, and I know it's only December, but you are starting to feel it, and you're starting to see it. And more importantly, you're starting to see all these things come into place because Monday night is moving to January 6th on Netflix, and they're treating that as a Wrestlemania-like show. But with all the excitement, questions will start to be asked. What is Cody Rhodes going to be doing at WrestleMania? What is the WWE Championship match going to be at WrestleMania, with rumors circulating that it could be John Cena, it could be Reigns, it could be Randy Orton, it could be The Rock. Today I got news on rumors of Cody Rhodes and The Rock already filming vignettes with each other, being kept top secret for potential at WrestleMania 41. With the Monday Night Raw moved to Netflix on January 6th, how is the show going to sound? I got news on the censorship you'll see on the show, as well as a top name coming back to the commentary booth. The New Day, the angle that we saw on Monday, was probably one of the best heel turns in recent WWE memory, and the heel turn that we saw that left Big E without his brothers. What was the original plan before Monday night, and the heel turn from Xavier Woods on Big E? And I got an injury update that is not very good in WWE. All this and so much more on today's Off the Script for December 7th, 2024. We'll start with the injury updates. On Friday Night SmackDown last night, we did learn officially from WWE that Bronson Reed will be out with injury, and he is expected to undergo surgery. Now, this happened at Survivor Series on Saturday night, where we saw Roman Reigns and the Bloodline OG battle Solo Sikoa and Bloodline 2.0, and in one of the highlights of the match, Bronson Reed came off the top of the War Games cage with a tsunami, trying to land the tsunami on Roman Reigns, only to be pulled to safety by CM Punk. But upon coming down, Bronson Reed broke his foot, and he's going to be out 3 to 4 months with injury, which is terrible for Monday Night Raw, as they are embarking on their biggest show ever, and Bronson Reed was in the biggest push of his career. He is going to be out with injury. PW Insider reports that the word going around the company is that Reed will undergo surgery sometime next week for his ankle foot injury. As a result, he will miss all upcoming house shows that he was advertised to work against Seth Rollins inside a steel cage as part of the company's post-holiday schedule. That is not the only injury. WWE documented that Jimmy Uso will be out of action for a month at least with a broken toe. And Tanga Loa, he is out with injury as he tore his bicep on the Saturday night Survivor Series. He's going to be out for quite a while, and he will be out of action and without his Bloodline brothers. So that is the latest on the injury front for WWE, man. But that Bronson Reed injury, that is a devastating blow, man. He has become the second half MVP for WWE, and he's been doing the best work of his life. And to see him out 3 to 4 months now, maybe even longer with a broken foot. If you guys saw SmackDown last night, that shit looked fucking nasty. I don't know, man. You know, you could sit there and say spots like that are unnecessary. That didn't need to happen. We'd still have Bronson Reed on television. He wouldn't be getting surgery. He'd be right in the thick of things for potentially the Intercontinental Championship. He'd be on the debut on Netflix. It just sucks, man. But listen, he went out with a fucking bang, man. He went out like a fucking hero. And he walked out on his own with the broken foot. So I can't wait to get him back. He'll be right back in the thick of things when he gets back. But that is a devastating injury, man. I love him. He is so good. And I'm looking forward to him getting back 100%, because he's been doing the best work of his entire life. Jimmy Uso, he'll be fine. He'll be ready to go for WrestleMania season. And Tanga Loa, I don't want to make light of Tanga Loa and the injury to Tanga Loa, but, you know, he really isn't used as much as the other Bloodline members. So I think that is going to be, of all 3 injuries, that's going to be the least that is going to be worrisome. So Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu usually carry the workload in the Bloodline with Solo Sikoa. Tanga Loa is going to be out. It's going to be interesting to see how the Bloodline looks as a threesome instead of a foursome on television with him out with injury. It's going to be interesting to see if they actually add somebody else to the Bloodline. I don't know if that is the plan right now. So we'll see how WrestleMania materializes. It could be Roman versus Jacob Fatu. It could be Roman versus Solo for the Ulafala at WrestleMania. It could be Roman versus Rock. We don't know which direction they're going in. Could be Roman versus Rock. We don't know which direction they're going in right now. I think we'll get a lot of those answers on Monday night, January 6th. But that is the injury update for WWE, and not a good injury update to say the least. Saturday night's main event, there are plans to potentially add a fifth match to the show. I don't think that's a good idea whatsoever. Now, during the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio, WrestleVotes discussed a fifth match being planned for the show. However, the participants were not disclosed, they say. So speaking of Saturday night's main event, we are hearing, as of now, to expect advertised matches for the upcoming show. We are at 4. We expect another one to be announced sometime this week, with Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens as the headliner for the WWE Championship. NBC is also expecting heavily to push the show throughout all of the WWE programming on Raw and on SmackDown, including Sunday Night Football as we head towards December 14th. So, TC, as the card shapes up now, we have 2 world title matches, 2 women's title matches, and expect a fifth then some for Saturday nights. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, Gunther versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, Liv Morgan will defend against Io Sky, the Women's World Championship. The United States Women's Championship will be determined as we crown the first ever United States Women's Champion. Who knows who that will be? I said it could be Bayley versus Naomi. Clearly, that's not happening after what we got on Friday Night SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton won her match. Naomi is now eliminated. We could see Tiffany versus Bayley. We could see Tiffany lose and then cash in on Nia due to Nia's help backfiring, helping Bayley win the championship. That's an option. Or I said WWE could just play up Chelsea Green and Michin and the dumpster match, with Chelsea Green getting her win back after being dumped in the dumpster by Mia Yim. So a lot of people were hoping that Chelsea would be the first United States Women's Champion. That actually may come to fruition. We don't even know. So look forward to that. And that title will be on the line as well. I think adding a fifth match will actually take away from the 4 that are currently advertised. It's only a 2-hour show. They could do a fifth match, but I would rather them give proper time to everything else, because you know there's going to be time in between. There's going to be a promo segment or a backstage segment or 2. You don't want to overload the show, being that it's only 2 hours and it's on NBC, so they'll be riddled with commercials. Just keep it at 4. I think 4 is very good for what we got right now. And then whatever you don't get to, you could do on the shows leading up to Monday night on January 6th, and even on January 6th, save some of the matches that you're not going to get across for Monday Night Raw. So that is the plan for Saturday night's main event. And they did add Jesse Ventura to the commentary booth as he makes his return to Saturday night's main event. Back in the early stages of the show, he was a mainstay as a voice for the show. He was backstage at Monday Night Raw a few months ago, signed the Legends deal. Now he will commentate on December 14th on Saturday night's main event, with his nostalgic voice being what fans remembered from the early days, watching him call the action for the company on these specials. The main event, like I said, will be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, so I don't know if he's going to be calling a match or the entire show. So we'll see what happens. He is up there in age, but his iconic voice still lives on, so it's going to be great to hear him and see him back on nationally televised television for Saturday night's main event. Monday night, Netflix. I can't wait, man. I am so excited for this. So excited. And right now, the profanity that we all are expecting for Monday night, January 6th, will not be there, according to Nick Khan. They are still very much going to be a family-friendly show, which we talked about earlier this week. I'm not really too concerned about that. WWE could be family-friendly. They are still family-friendly. The shows are so much better than what we were getting 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not worried about that. They could still book an adult-like program and cater to the audience that they have now without going over the top. We don't need cursing every week. We don't need blood every week. We don't need unadulterated violence every week. Just book me a program that makes sense, and book me a program that is geared towards adults mostly. You don't need all the extra shit. So if they continue doing what they're doing right now, Nick Khan's comments are null and void. What I am concerned about is on USA Network, on CW, when you watch NXT, you get this censorship that is just so disgusting that it just interrupts the flow of the show. It just muddies the show up. So Brian Alvarez of Wrestling Observer Newsletter offered some insight into a subtle but potentially significant change coming to Monday Night Raw with the move to Netflix that some fans will obviously take notice of. Now, while Alvarez believes the overall content of Raw will remain largely the same, he anticipates a more relaxed approach to censoring the crowd chants. He says, and I quote, "I don't know this to be sure 100%, but I'm probably about 99% sure that the one thing you will see different when they go to Netflix is less bleeping out of crowd chants." Alvarez explained that previous discussions about a potential TV-14 rating were primarily motivated by WWE's frustrations with having to heavily censor audience reactions. Alvarez went on to say, there was a deal a while ago where they had some discussions about Raw maybe going TV-14 or something along those lines. Of course, that did not happen, but people were all excited when they did hear that news. I was told literally the reason they wanted to explore that had nothing to do with the content on the show, but they hate having to completely bleep and silence the crowd when they chant profanities. Holy shit, you fucked up, so on and so forth. I hate that. Sometimes you just get a black fucking screen with nothing. You don't hear nothing, just a blank screen. Then sometimes when you do see something, you don't hear anything because they bleep out everything. They bleep out the crowd reaction, they bleep out the commentary. You don't hear nothing. It's like silence for like 10 seconds. It's disgusting. Happened on Fox almost weekly. Happens on Raw almost bi-weekly. Happens on CW with NXT. It's not a good watch. So he says, I think on Netflix that will end. But as far as the rest of it, it's going to be just like it is right now. There's not going to be any naked women or whatever you saw back in the 90s. End quote. First WWE Raw airs on January 6th and will be stacked and WrestleMania-like, says Triple H. Good. If that's the one change and only change we get, I am A-okay with that. I'm not expecting Attitude Era. I'm not expecting nudity. I'm not expecting anything because now they're on streaming service and they're not on cable television or broadcast television. But what I do expect is the profanities hurled at the audience or hurled at the performers when something crazy happens. Holy shit, you fucked up. You know, whatever they want to chant. Chant to your heart's content. What I also expect is people with a large presence on the show. Rock, Cena, Punk, Rollins, Roman. Guys of that elite status. They could get away and say anything they want. So you're going to see some of the things that you want to see from primarily those talents. You're not going to see that from the lower end card. Not everybody's going to have the benefit to do that. Not everybody's going to get the trust from management to do that. You're going to get the upper echelon of talent to bring out that sense of rawness, make it raw is war again. And you don't need to see that stuff every week, but when it matters, obviously on the road to WrestleMania, when things are really fucking at an all-time high and the energy is high, that's when you do it. You don't do it every week because then it's going to be played out. It's not going to be as special. It's not going to be as unique. So I look forward to that, man. I can't wait for Netflix. I think Monday night, January 6th, is going to be one of the biggest shows that they've ever done. And it's going to be one of the biggest shows that we've done here on the channel. So I can't wait for it. Speaking of Monday night, we have Pat McAfee returning full-time to WWE when Monday night moves to Netflix. McAfee obviously was the color guy to Michael Cole before he went away to do college football. He is the host for ESPN's College Game Day. He previously served as the Raw and SmackDown broadcast partner to Michael Cole. And he says, letting the cat out of the bag a little bit right now, but he will be back on Monday night full-time when Raw moves to Netflix. Triple H confirmed this. Right now, the current Raw broadcast team consists of Joe Tessitore, who's doing a great job on Monday night, and Wade Barrett. Right now, it is not official as to how they will be used and where they will go. I'm assuming that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee will be the commentary team on Monday until Pat McAfee needs to go away again. And Joe Tess and Wade Barrett are going to move to Friday nights on USA Network with SmackDown. So that is the plan, and they want their biggest names, and it will be an all-hands-on-deck situation. and nobody should be surprised by this maneuver. Original plans for the New Day and the heel turn that we saw on Monday night. Now, we saw Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods turn heel on Big E in a segment that was meant to celebrate the New Day's 10-year anniversary. Woods said that Big E left them. Kofi agreed with Xavier. Big E pointed out that he had a broken neck. They both threw the broken neck situation in his face, with even Xavier claiming, or Kofi rather, I think both of them pretty much exclaimed that neck injury that he has, it didn't require surgery. So they questioned why he did not make it back to television to support them and be a part of the New Day with them. Kofi said Big E chose himself over the New Day, and Woods said Big E would never be medically cleared and told Big E to get out of the ring and go back to your desk job where you belong, and if we need you, we'll call you. This was after Big E offered to be their manager and want to be back on television full-time with Kofi and Xavier. This all officially started the heel turn for the New Day. This was after WWE teased for months that Woods would be turning on Kofi. Kofi was actually teased turning on Xavier as well. This angle involving Big E on Monday was not the original plan. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer reported that the angle, take it with a grain of salt, the angle had been planned for months. This is fact. Anybody watching the show could see that. Meltzer wrote, and I quote, "When Odyssey Jones came in, they were going to tease issues with them not getting along, but it would end up with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods going heel by choosing Odyssey Jones and having him publicly replace Big E. But then Jones got fired and the whole thing was changed." End quote. Well, they changed it the best way that they could. And I was actually quite enjoying Odyssey Jones, but he fucked up professionally and personally, and he was not brought back to television and rightfully fired. But, you know, Meltzer has had a very tough 2024, but what he's saying is very basic and very simple. And what he's saying is probably what they were going to go with. And he was going to be publicly replaced by Big E, was going to be publicly replaced by Odyssey Jones. I could absolutely see that being the case. So, I mean, that's not even that outlandish to even contemplate. Now, is that legit? Did he get that from a credible source within the company? I don't know. But I could see that absolutely being the case and being the original plan for the New Day. But no matter what the original plan was, it still played off great. And the whole story is now Big E proving the New Day wrong. I mean, he will be working back to get cleared. He said so on Monday.
Cyber Week starts now. Up to 30% off fleece from Nike, Under Armour, and DSG. Up to 4.
We'll be working back to get cleared. He said so on Monday. Until I'm medically cleared is what he said. And I predict that he will be in the Royal Rumble and he will eliminate either Kofi or Xavier or both the New Day in the Royal Rumble. And then we will get all of them in some sort of match. Whether it's a handicap match or whether it's a triple threat match at WrestleMania. It will be the New Day, and then the reunion that you were supposed to get on Monday, we'll get at WrestleMania, and then the New Day will be born again at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. But the original plans for the New Day, Meltzer probably is not that far off. And finally, Cody Rhodes. What is the WWE Champion going to be doing at WrestleMania? A lot of people are pointing the finger at The Rock. And that could be very well the case. Cody Rhodes and The Rock filmed something together at the Moana 2 premiere. Now, as previously reported by internet personality Chris Featherstone, WWE has opted to move forward with its creative plans as if The Rock will not appear at WrestleMania 41. Here's the spoiler, folks. I don't give a fuck what Chris Featherstone or Sean Ross Sapp or Mike Johnson or Brian Alvarez or any of these fucking people have to say about The Rock. The Rock will be at WrestleMania. He will be on Monday night, January 6th for the Raw debut on Netflix. He will be on the road to WrestleMania. He will be at WrestleMania 41. We've seen The Rock at WrestleMania. We've seen him on the Raw after Mania with Cody. We've seen him come out of bad blood at the end of the show. He will be at WrestleMania. Doing what? We don't know yet. But the only people that know that are Dwayne, Nick Khan, and Brian Gewirtz. That's it. I don't even think Triple H knows. And if there's a fourth guy that knows, Triple H will know when we know. Right now, he might not know. Sean Ross Sapp. He followed up with a tweet noting that ultimately The Rock can do what he wants, which is correct. I'm assuming that's going to be more of the same this year as it was last year. And Featherstone's report is accurate. This is after much speculation that The Rock would return to do a match with Cody at WrestleMania 41. Now, Fightful actually has a follow-up to all this, and they say Rock's Bad Blood appearance was to get him on screen and didn't have a major direction or plot point they were furthering. I don't believe that for a fucking second. Now, it might not be a big plot point, but The Rock showed up on television for a reason. It might not be revealed as of right now, but they will certainly make that ending scene to Bad Blood a reason for whatever's coming. It might not be very blatant right now. We might not know what it is, but they're going to have to answer to what they did. They have to. You just can't show up and do this and throat slash and then not fucking go back on it. Just like he needs to tell us what he told Cody, what he handed Cody on the Monday night after WrestleMania. He handed him something and then told him, don't break my heart again. I'm assuming that and whatever happened, that Bad Blood, kind of coincide. So we might not know the answer to those situations now, but they will have to be addressed. Because he did a good job last year of addressing everything that kind of just got swept under the rug. And he did a great job of doing that with his viral campaigns on social media. The promos that he put on social media, they were fucking great. So I'm assuming that he's going to actually have a plan of attack when he comes back to television. Those in WWE knew he could be appearing at the show before finding out for sure that week at Bad Blood. Rock was in plain view when he showed up before the show. Now, Fightful was told that Rhodes and The Rock filmed something at the Moana 2 premiere. However, it was said that whatever it is may or may not end up seeing the light of day. It's been kept very secretive, and the context on that was not provided. It was said that anyone reporting that The Rock is 100% out for WrestleMania is not being genuine, as no one knows what The Rock is going to do, and The Rock would not give out that type of information unless it is in his circle of people. So if they filmed something, if they filmed anything together, it's not for the fucking movie premiere. It's probably having to do with something on the road to WrestleMania. We don't know anything right now. And that's what The Rock does. That's how The Rock operates. That's exactly what he did last year. You don't know until he shows up. He does what he wants. He says what he wants. He shows up where he wants. It's his fucking show. He's on the board. He can do whatever he wants. As far as I'm concerned, they all answer to him. He is their boss. Triple H has to answer to The Rock. He will be on Monday night. He will be on the road to WrestleMania when he wants to be. And he will be at WrestleMania. The natural direction is for Rock and Cody for a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship. Things need to be answered. He asked Cody to hold the WWE title on the Raw after Mania. You are not going to blatantly ignore that. We need answers to that. He handed Cody whatever it was as he shook his hand and told him, don't break my heart. What was it? What does that mean? We need an answer to that. Bad Blood. He came out at the end of the show. Did this. What the 3 means. Nobody knows. What does this mean? Who does he want to kill off? Nobody knows. What is he going to do on January 6th? Because he will be there. He's in the fucking vignette. He's in the promo package with Travis Scott and the new theme song. The last 2 people in the promo package you see are Triple H and The Rock. What is he going to do there? I don't know. Nobody knows. But if they film something at this major movie premiere, and clearly they're setting up something for them on the road to WrestleMania. What that is, I don't know. Is it a one-on-one match between the 2? Is it Rock versus Roman with Cody involved, making it a triple threat match? Nobody knows. But that's the great thing about it. If you knew what was happening at WrestleMania, if you knew what was happening on the road to WrestleMania, how fun would it be? How exciting would it be? I'd rather know nothing. Not complaining about this whatsoever, but like the report from Fightful said, if you think Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania, you're sticking to that. You're being disingenuous. He will absolutely be at WrestleMania, and he will be in the ring wrestling at WrestleMania. No doubt about it. For all we know, he wins the fucking Royal Rumble. Does he come out at number 30? Do we see someone else come out at 30 and The Rock interject at number 31, changing the fucking rules like he did last year? It's going to be a great WrestleMania season, man. Can't wait for it. But right now, whatever they filmed is being kept top secret. I'm expecting that they will be in something together at WrestleMania 41. Thank you guys very much, man. Enjoy your Saturdays. Thank you for a great December, man. We're going to keep rolling. I'm going to have more news for you tomorrow. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Let me know in the comments section because the comments help me out. The more we see, the more YouTube loves us. Algorithm is great for us. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments section, do you think it will be Rock versus Cody Rhodes at Wrestlemania for the WWE Championship? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure you guys go check out all of the other content on the channel. There is plenty of it, especially all the streams that we've done. Monday night, Tuesday Night Titans, Wednesday's Dynamite, Friday SmackDown, and I'll be back live with you this coming Monday on Monday Night Raw. And make sure you guys, again, hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes today on Off the Script. Until then, guys, I'll be back with more news tomorrow here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.
Let's face it, getting the right healthcare coverage is hard and it's ever changing.